One thing I wanted to add on to all this is that I'm in Pueblo, Colorado, and I've been coming here since 1982. And I had heard stories ever since Colorado had passed their pot law, legalized marijuana, about the influx of homeless and young and what's obviously, whether you want to, admit it or not, they are, drug addicts. And let me tell you, that's no story. That I've never seen. You never saw this before before they had passed that law. And the stories I'd heard were really hard to believe. And let me tell you, that is no story. That's not hearsay. That's truth. And I have never seen a decline. The motels that I'd stayed at over the years in Pueblo, and I have never seen a decline like what has happened here. And one thing I've noticed today is let me tell you, the gap between the haves and the have-nots is astonishing. I noticed it in Trinidad back in October when I had come there, and you just see it on a small scale. But let me tell you, it's a fact, and it's something that really brings down the city as a whole, and which. Well, I'm not going to bandy it back and forth about the merits and demerits of legalized marijuana, but we have 150 years of proof that marijuana leads to hard drugs. And it was, Colorado being, the whole reason that I'm bringing this up is because, I came here looking for work. And if I were to find a good enough job, I would certainly move here. Well, let me tell you, this is not something that makes me want to move me and my family here. I haven't been accosted or harassed or any of them put the bite on me yet. But let me tell you, there's a lot of them. And Pueblo, well, I just got to say this, all the years I've been coming to Colorado is a left-wing state. That's just the fact. They're an extreme left-wing state, and legalizing drugs like this does not behoove anyone. They're in it for the tax revenue, and they just thought that this would just, be the greatest thing in the world, and everybody be driving on 12-lane highways, which is a genuinely stupid notion anyway. And I would like to know, what their drug rehab costs have gone up to since they have legalized pot, because legalized pot brings in hard drugs too. So it's, the drug problem is never under control, never going to be under control, and the solution's certainly not being more lenient. But all that that's not what this channel is about. This is about me, coming here to look for work, and seeing this, and it does not make me have any desire to come to any part of Colorado. But the urban decay has been astonishing, especially for Pueblo. You can tell that they've spent tremendous amounts of money on bringing some new businesses here, and you would think that would be a boon to getting some of these people off the street. No, it hasn't been that way. It doesn't work that way. Never has, never will. And but like I said, if I can find something that's good enough, the compensation is right now. The economy as a whole is that if you're in the situation that I am, I'm about to be unemployed. I'll be unemployed in about a month. Have it in your head to begin with that you may have to, very likely, even doing the same job, may have to take considerably less pay. The seniority issue aside, starting at the bottom, the economy is getting bad enough that jobs simply are not going to be paying what they once were. And I suppose that, for a lot of things like unions and stuff, which I'm not a union person, that they're in for a reality check as well. So I've already talked to some people here that right off the bat, the people here are having to work at least two jobs. It depends on your personal situation. What your needs are. Even a person on their own may think that they have to work two jobs. It just depends on what your obligations are. But I could definitely see if you have any family obligations, the problem. I can see having a need to work two jobs. Anyway, I wanted to point that out, that I don't know how far New Mexico is behind on this. I've heard serious talk of them legalizing marijuana, and whether you're looking at it from a moral point of view or not, it don't make a damn, because it's going to bring in these people never used to be here. And I've been to all parts of Colorado over the years since 1982, and it always has been a left-wing state. But you absolutely did not see this. And from what I'm told, a lot of these they're young, homeless, and they're coming from all over the country because they can come here and smoke their weed, and I'll leave it at that. That was the personification of irresponsibility on the part of government, and they say the will of the people. Now that's all. You can hide behind the cloak of that crap all you want. But anyway, as far as jobs go, there's some new industry here, and I'll definitely check into that. But as far as, sure took a lot of shine away from Colorado when they did that. And my personal opinion is, in years to come, there will come a day when they'll see that was a major screw up, and they'll change it. But it's sure, it's sure. The urban decay, the homeless, man, what a trip. I never thought Colorado would stoop to that, but anyway. Every state has its drug problem, but what they did here did not solve anything, and it brought in a very undesirable element. So I'll just leave it at that. But that's part of being unemployed is you got to consider not all parts of the country are the same. So you've got to consider what it is you're willing to tolerate and what you're not willing to tolerate, and make your choices from there. And because you don't just have to take anything that comes along. No, you don't. So I'll be back with more.